Hello, EED 675 students. Long time no see. I just wanted to check in with a mid-semester video update and kind of find out how everything's going with you all. Just a few housekeeping things. I emailed all of you all your literature review grade and your mid-semester progress report. Hopefully you received that. If for some reason that you did not receive it, please let me know as soon as possible so that I can figure out what's going on. Also, just in terms of your forum responses, you'll notice on the mid-semester progress report that each week post is up to 5 points, and then starting this week it increases to 7, and then the last week or so it's like 8 points. And so if it's not showing up right on the Moodle, don't worry. I haven't inputted all of yours into the Moodle, and as far as your forum responses, I have to actually put the number on there, so just bear with me. But you did get your midterm progress report, so you should know how you're doing. Okay, other updates. I did upload a new case study sample. I think this one's a little bit more concrete. I know many of you all are doing case studies. If for some reason you're doing a classroom inquiry or a community assets project, please give me a call so I can forward you additional materials, or we can talk it out just so I can make sure you're on the right track. Also, you'll notice that on your midterm paper progress report, I asked for everyone to submit a rough draft of your final paper. It doesn't have to be complete by all means, but I don't want you all waiting to the very last minute to get these done. Plus, I want to give you feedback. So I believe that was the 28th. I'll double check on the syllabus. But again, you're just going to email me a rough draft of your research project just so I can know what you're thinking. And that will be worth 25 points. Again, just to make sure you're on the right track. I've also uploaded a few more assessment tools for English language learners. Now, just a few tips for those of you that are doing a case study guide. So remember, you're giving me your introduction. Who is the student? What is the demographics? You might do that student interest survey that I included as part of one of the assessments. So this student is interested in he's interested in or she's interested in soccer. They love reading nonfiction books related to soccer. So you might start off your introduction for your case study just giving me an overview of some background about the student and the school. Now, generally when you're doing an assessment of English language learners, it's up to you to focus to decide what particular focus you want. Now, if you're just doing a general assessment of the English language learners, you want to use a few assessments. I recommend a reading one, a writing one, a listening and speaking assessment tool. Now, after you've done those preliminary assessments, you might say this student really needs some work with vocabulary. So when you decide to do your mini lessons to support the student as part of the case study / tutoring guide, you might technically just have 3 lessons all focused on vocabulary, right? If you want to do a more general reinforcement, then you might have 1 lesson on vocabulary, 1 lesson on listening and speaking, 1 lesson on writing. I find it's a bit more, it gives you a bit more depth if you focus on one particular area. Those supplemental assessments that I've posted, I think will be helpful for you. And again, if you need more support, then by all means come and meet with me or call me or email me so I can send you additional assessments that you can use. So this last week you got a little bit into thinking about social studies, culturally relevant teaching, and we started looking a bit into inquiry in the social studies. Today we're getting a bit more into math and science, and next week we'll be getting into math and science as well. Today we're just laying the foundation. We're looking at the NCTM site, so the National Mathematics Teachers Association. My STEM people help me out there. You get one. So you're looking at the NCTM site to kind of see if they have any position papers that are connected to special needs for English language learners. We're also talking about a few issues that have already come up in the class. One is the use of homophones and homonyms. For math and science in particular, this is what gets our English language learners. When they see words such as plus, sum, product, etc., those are the words words that we need to make sure that we're previewing for them so that they understand how they're being used in the mathematical context. Also this week we're talking a bit about word problems as well, and how the semantics and syntax of word problems can throw English learners off, particularly when we're talking about passive versus active voice. The other thing that we're going to be looking at in this week's PowerPoint is, once again, those good old language and content objectives. So you have 3 activities. Your first activity, you're just looking at some of the variables that impact English language learners in terms of math. Some of them might have math anxiety. Some of them may have been taught math a different way in their home countries. So we're thinking about those variables. For your activity 2, you are getting into thinking about those language and content objectives, and then you'll be exploring that a bit more as well. So we are going to again continue thinking about the unique needs of our English language learners. Of course, in this week's focus, I do talk a bit about vocabulary. We already had a class session on vocabulary, on academic vocabulary. So some of those slides might be kind of a repeat of what we discussed when we met on campus a few weeks ago when we talked about academic vocabulary. Also, just another heads up, we will be having our next on-site session on November 11th, and I'm posing this question to you all, and what I'll do is I'll post another kind of quick poll. Do you all want to have an additional session, maybe on the last night of class? Do we want to meet together? So I'm just throwing that out there to you all as well. Okay, so those are just a few updates, a few key things to think about. Again, by all means, contact me if you are concerned or if you have any questions. Hopefully your mid-semester progress report helped to make things a bit more concrete. You all are doing a great job in these discussion forums. I will continue going through and grading those. So again, the numbers I would rely more on the numbers that I actually sent you in your midterm progress, because some of those numbers in the actual Moodle site might not be up to date yet. Also, one other thing, your literature review was out of 75 points, so you could have gotten 75 out of 75 or anything lower than that. All right? Okay, everybody, have a great week. I look forward to seeing you soon. And again, if you have any questions, please contact me as soon as possible. Take care. Bye.